friends and creatives from around the globe. Welcome to Hither and Yon Studio. DJ here in the studio today. And we are working on the July journal. Finally working on the July journal. It was so funny watching all your comments. I'm ready, I'm inked, I'm good to go, I'm ready to start. And I was just not ready to go yet. My fault, my bad, but it was a busy, holiday weekend. So I'm ready now. And I hope you guys are ready too. Look, I have all my cuts. I have all my pages. Everything's inked. I'm good to go. So I'm just gonna organize this and then we'll get to getting. Okay, so I feel like I'm kind of organized. I don't know, we'll see. I have all my pages here that came with the kit, and I'm making a cover out of a piece of cardstock. So this is like a heavier weight cardstock. It's not something I like to print on because it is just a lot heavier, and for some reason my printer doesn't like it. So I have a bunch of it, and you could also use a cereal box or a macaroni box or something to do this if you want to kind of follow along with me. But I'm going to cover mine in this fabric because I thought it kind of went with the theme. It's kind of got that green garden look, and then I'll build on top of it maybe. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do 2 signatures, and what I want to do is include some of my own kind of ephemera bits, my own kind of vintagey bits. So I have some of these old ledger pages, just your run-of-the-mill vintage ledger pages. I don't know what year it is, so I can't really say for sure that it's vintage. Oh, 1894, it is vintage. And then I have some music sheets, and I have this little baggie of bits. So I think some of this is vintage and some of this is replica, but I thought there'd be like a lot of little cool pieces in here that I might be able to use. Like this. This is vintage. So I have that. So I would encourage you all to kind of go and grab what you have. If you don't have any bits like this, the old design shop has a website, and there are a bunch of kind of vintagey printables on there that are free. You can download them for free. There is also an Etsy shop, but this is the actual website. So I think it's the olddesignshop.com, and I think shop has 2 P's and an E, like the old school spelling. But if you search Google, you'll definitely find it. There's a lot of fun printables there. I also received this fun little kit from Patricia over at Le Cafe Craft. I am part of her Patreon, and this was a little bundle that she sent to me with a bunch of pieces and bits in it. I haven't gone through everything, but yeah, I thought some of these would be cool. So I don't know, we'll see what we use. This is fun. She just has so many cool things. So that was her little gift to me. So I think I want to cut some of these ledger pages, and maybe we'll throw a couple of book pages in too. And see what we can, kind of intermingle them. And then I'm just going to get some regular coffee dyed papers as well. This one's got a nice piece that isn't written on, so I think I'll use this one. I'll put this one to the side. I hope you guys are excited. It sounded like you were very excited. Everybody was ready to go, and I was just like, I'm not ready. I'm sorry. I know I'm running the show. How sad. So I am excited. This one's gonna be fun. I want to do a lot of lace. I want to do a lot of kind of building in layers. That kind of look where everything's like, you look at it. Now you may not want to do yours this way, so I encourage you to just do whatever you want to do. But I like that look every so often where there's just so much going on. You really have to spend a little time to kind of look at the page and see what's there. You know, kind of like when you're looking at a Pollock, looking for all the little bitty bits of whatever. So anyway, that's what I want to do. And you know, maybe you'll join me in that endeavor. And maybe I'll just cut one more piece this size and we'll just keep this maybe as a background or something. I'll give you the measurements on the cover I'm doing. I won't forget, and if I do forget, she says right after, she says, don't forget, I won't forget. I'll put them in the description box if you guys remind me. But, so this one can go, I don't know which way, like this. And I'm probably gonna have to put a piece of washi down the center of this because this paper is quite fragile. It is authentic. So it might get a little crumbly and I don't want that. And then maybe some of this music paper. I don't like the back of this one. Not for this. Anyway, this one's plain, so we'll go with this one. So let's see. About there. And I'm just measuring it to the page, but let's see, maybe I'll cut some off. So maybe I'll cut it here first so I don't miss out on any of that stuff, that goodness. And then I'll cut it to size. So then I'm just cutting off this kind of blank. My AC is running like mad. You're just gonna hear it. I'm sorry, it is another hot one here. And it just runs all day. I can't even, it like just never stops. It's just trying to keep up, even though it's been on since the overnight. All right, so that's that. We got that piece. And then I have some book page over here I think I want to throw in. Maybe I should do another one of these while I have it out. Why not? Sure. We'll do this one a little shorter. So I'll cut it just below. Cut off some of that. That's okay. Yeah, so I'm super excited for this one. Let's fold this one inward. Then we have a different look. So I hope we can have fun and make fun stuff. All right, so that's all that. Let me move this out of the way. I have this vintage book page that came from Patricia, so we're definitely using some of this. Let me get a ruler so I don't tear it wrong. Maybe I should just try to cut it. I like the torn look, but I'm afraid it's gonna rip wrong. Okay, so does this have violet? Oh, you know what? I think this is in French. Is it? Yes, possibly. All right, anyway, I don't know. That one's got a snake on it. This one has a zebra and a bison. I think we'd find more snakes in the garden than we would find bison and zebras. So, although I don't know what kind of garden you have, so maybe not, I don't know. What else do we have? Anything here that I could use? Again, I encourage you to kind of go through your stash. I don't really like the shiny stuff so much. So we won't be using any of that. Although those bunnies, what? Oh my goodness, I'm leaving that out. So there's definitely bunnies in my garden. Our thank you card. The butterfly. All right, we'll just take some pieces out of here, but let me see if there's anything else. This might fit. This might fit as, all right, let's see where I have to fold it. Ooh, it's almost the perfect size, but I want to fold it right there. So this piece will be a little shorter, but that's okay. This one also is gonna definitely need some washi, and I do have to trim this a little. we'll leave it like it is for now. And let's see what else. What else do I have? Anything else? Anything else in here? No, I think that's it for that. What's this? There's some of this book page. We'll definitely grab some of that. Perfect. Do a couple of these. You know what? Let me just use my ruler in this case because this is pretty brittle. That's about where I want it. Okay. Do that one. Ooh, and I like that it's all torn right there. That makes me very happy. And then up here maybe we'll do this because then we can get some of that torn stuff and that goodness. Oh, to have a humongous workspace. Hopefully there's some wealthy philanthropist out there that wants to support the crafts and will send me money to build my ideal craft room. Oh no, I'm one of those people. Stop it. Okay, moving on. So that's that. And then, what's this? I just have this stamped off piece of book page. We'll add that. I was doing that yesterday during the live. And then there's these pages. So I thought I would put some of these on the interior of this after I cover it with fabric. We'll see. Let me give you these measurements before I forget. Okay, here we go. Ready? This is about 9.5, and then I scored it at 4 1/4, and then I made the center 1 inch, and then this is also 4 1/4. And then going this way, it is 5 3/4. And so I thought that would be a good size to kind of have my journal in there in the middle and have just some space all around. For goodness. For goodness. Okay, so let's make our signatures and decide what page is going where. And then I also have, did I print on both sides of this? I did not. Okay, so this is definitely not using that. This one is only one side. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. I can always do tip-ins and stuff. This is the hardest part. So what do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 10. So we're doing 5 and 5. Pink, pink, plain. That one's got the butterfly, so we'll put the bird up here. We'll do this one, that one, this one. Do I have 5 in each? Did I count right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, okay, and I was right. It is 10. So these are the 2 signatures. On the beginning of this signature, maybe I'll do the pink. And then, let's see, we'll do this here and this here. And then we'll do a music page. We'll put this one there. We'll put this one here. And like that. Like that. And then we'll just intermingle them, right? So we'll just do like every other one with something fun. That should give it some pizzazz. I hope you guys. I was thinking of doing like a special kind of stitched cover, but you know what? I said I got to get to making, so we're not going to do that this one, but maybe for August I'm going to do that. Okay, so what did I do here? Okay. All right, anyway, let's start with you, and then we'll put this in here. And then, which one do I want in the center? I think I actually want this one in the center, but I love him. All right, we'll put him as the first signature. This little moth. Yeah, that's good. This is going to be my center. So we'll do this. And then we'll put in this one. Okay, just making sure everything's up the way it should be. Let's throw this one in here. And then you. And then you. This one. And this one. I want the cardstock definitely in the center. And that's fun. Oh, I wanted to get some regular paper. Hold on. All right, so I took out just a regular piece of tea dyed paper. This is some coffee dyed or tea dyed graph paper. This one I got off of a shop on Etsy, and if I can remember, I'll put it in the description box below. I love the color of this, and the maker has all different colors, including like a black one and all different. Just I'll put it down below and you can go check it out if you want to get some hand dyed paper. But I thought this blue, look at that, that is gorgeous. I actually am probably gonna cut this way, and then just regular there. So these can get cut. I have to take a little off the edge because it's not going to be quite, because I have that white band and these are full-size sheets, so I'll just take a hair off of it. Actually, off of all of them. Just a smidgen. Does anybody like those smidgen candies from Gertrude Hawk? I don't know if where Gertrude Hawk is or is not, but the dark chocolate solid smidgens, oh my goodness. They're my fave. Okay, so that should get us to the right size. Now this one, I definitely want this. So let's see, I have to be, I know I could just measure it, but all right, so I want to go to about there so I don't miss any of that yummy goodness. So we will cut this one, I guess just below. This is cutting. Some of these papers that are coffee or tea dyed or handmade paper doesn't like the trimmer so much. So, and then I'll put this one in the other one. So this will go, actually we can make this into a pocketed page, right? So we can keep some of that. So we'll go this way. And then we'll just kind of fold it up so it's the right height. Maybe we'll go like that. Okay, and then in half. That is not even. There we go. And then we'll fold it in half and that'll become a pocket, which is fine. This one in half. And let me do this. Okay, so what do we got? A little 5 5/16. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna measure, maybe. Let me put these to the side. And then these will just build out some additional space, right? Let's go this way. 5 5/16. Stay together, stay together. Everybody in line. Here we go, come on. What are we doing? Okay, 5 5/16-ish. Yeah, see how it's eating up the paper edge? That's okay. Let's go this way. Sometimes I have to start the trimmer in the center of the paper, and that helps. So let's see, especially with like a little piece. Like sometimes if I start in the center, it won't tear so much, but it really depends on the paper. All right, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so let's incorporate all this now. So we did this one, and I will put you right here. Yeah. Okay, and then let me get this one all sorted. I said I thought I wanted a pink. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, here it is. I put it away. Trying to hide stuff on myself already. So we'll get all these together. We'll get the cover on. I'm gonna wrap, we'll see where we are at time, but probably wrap it up and then do the next video. I'm probably just gonna record right after, but I like to keep them shorter for a couple of reasons. Well, shorter than 2 hours, because the processing time to upload and just to work the video is a lot. It takes a lot of time. So if I make them like 2 hours long, it makes it very difficult to get it uploaded. And then this time of year, sometimes my power just goes out randomly because they reset switches, you know, they redirect traffic and all that happiness. So I'm afraid, like, if however long the video is how long it takes me to upload it and process it. So that's a lot of time, and doing that all in one clip is like an entire day. So so we'll keep it and then we'll move on to other stuff. So let's put you, I don't want this in the middle because I think that's gonna tear in the middle once I, you know, sew it. So we're not gonna do that. We'll put a piece of this here. I'll put some of the graph paper here by this pretty birdie. And then just a piece of there. So those are kind of built out nicely. Now I have some overhang, so I might trim this. We'll see. I might want to keep it like that if I put lace or something on it. So let's see, where are we gonna fit all you guys? So how about you go here? And then we'll put you here. This little crease right here is from me hanging my paper on the clothesline with a clip when I was making them outside. So funny. It's fun. It's fun. Oh wow, there's a lot of pages here. Hold on, let's move one of these to here with this. Okay, good. We're all set, right? Yes. Okay, so those are in order and those are what's gonna go in here. So, and maybe I could put some additional strips on here of lace or something. But that's what I'm going with. So now I have to cover this. And I'm gonna use that green fabric. And I did test this because I wanna use this is 3-in-1 glue. I just put it in this bottle because someone said that they put them in these Sugar Bell bottles and add a little acetone, and then it flows better. And so far so good. I used it for the first time yesterday and it was working fine. And I just put a little like bead on a straight pin to go in here. I don't know if that's going to be my final solution for the top, but I don't really have a top, so I might have to steal something off of something else. Anyway, so that's my 3-in-1 glue, and I just tested it to make sure I wasn't going to see it too much through the fabric once I put it down on top of the glue. I always try to test the fabric I'm working with. This one's a little heavier weight, so I think it did fine. If I get little spots, I can always cover them with a decoration, right? Yes. So let's take some of this, and I have no intention on washing this. Obviously it's made of paper, so even if your piece is not pre-washed, that's fine. I know with a lot of projects they're like pre-wash your fabric, but you don't have to do that for this. All right, so I do want to leave some room like here. This should tear. Good. Do that. Cut some of this crazy off. And up here. Because they're just gonna get in the way when I'm gluing. You know how that goes, right? We'll get as many off as we can. There's always going to be lingering pieces, and that's fine. They'll get buried underneath eventually. All right, so that's that side. And then I guess I'll take just a little bit off on this side. And then we're going to be fighting with strings again, but that's okay. It's all right. These pieces too, I can use like for the tops of tags, and come on, needs a better head start. You know, just kind of pieces for accents inside the journal. So there we go. It's quicker than cutting it, in my humble opinion. Okay, so that's what we got. And now I have to put my glue on. So I have a glue book here. Actually, I have two here. Let's use this one. That is not big enough, but we'll make it work. All right, so this is the back side. And so I'm just gonna put a bit of glue. I don't necessarily have to cover the whole thing because I'm gonna be folding it around and I'm going to be putting paper down on that. But I do want some places in here where I don't want it shifting around. So I'm just gonna kind of go around the outside. And I'm not gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna mush it down because I don't want any lumps and bumps. And then I'll just do kind of like this, because like I said, I just want to stop it from moving because I'm going to be wrapping it and gluing it some more. So let's cover that, my little makeshift, and then I'm just going to spread it out here with my spackle quickly because it's drying already. I just want to get down the lumps. I don't want it lumpy like my head. Okay, and then we'll put this down on here quickly. Come on, quick like a bunny. There'll be enough stick to just stop it from moving around, which is the point. Okay, and then we'll flip it over. We'll kind of do some of this. Fine, that's exactly what'll happen. And then as this wraps, it'll become, you know, a little more taut. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut some mitered corners here. Let me just put a tad bit more glue here. Okay, so I'm not going to cut all the way to the corner. I'm going to cut just above it. If you're a quilter or you've done this before, you know the deal. And I'm kind of cutting on an angle. And the reason we don't cut it all the way to the corner is because then you'll see your corner of your paper. So we just want to make sure that gets completely covered. Jeez, everything makes so much noise down here. All right, let's see. Little bit. Oh, that's okay. Maybe it'll dry and we won't see it. Okay, I'm not gonna do that again. You can go straight across. I'm just kind of angling it as I go. And again, get rid of those. And I'm gonna pull it a little when I glue it, so who knows where everything will end up anyway. As long as I have that corner. All right, and so now I'm gonna bring this down and glue it. And I'm gonna glue it like in here so that when I cover it with the paper, that part will be hidden. So about there. And yeah, it'll hold really well. And I'll just use this to kind of really make sure it's pushed down into that glue. And that's why I wanted that hidden. And that's why I didn't do it over there. Okay, so that's that. Okay, you can see kind of some of the wrinkles, but that's okay. I kind of don't mind that, and they might even still go away as I finish this up. So what do you think? Do you like the green? I happen to be a fan. Okay, so now I'll pull this one. And I'm gonna do the same thing. And keep in mind when you're doing this, you don't want to pull it too awfully tight because you want it to bend here, like, unless you're doing a separate spine, you want to make sure that you have some bendability without it curling. All right, so now that those are down, we can do these, and then you'll see it'll fold over there as we glue, like that. And then when I put the paper over, you won't even tell, but I'll just put a tiny hint in there, maybe over here, and maybe we won't see it too bad. But again, I can just cover it up. Okay, and if you want to kind of cut out an area here, go ahead and do that if you feel like you're gonna have too much bulk on the spine. This is very thin, kind of quilting cotton. I think it's cotton. I'm not even sure. It's a scrap, so who knows? Could be anything. Somebody else tell me that is not cotton. I don't know. Trim that just a little bit. A little more. And a little more. And just a little more. Just a little more. Until there's nothing left. I've done that, right? Have you done that? Where you're like, just a little bit, oh, just a little bit more, and then you've just gone too far. Should be good. Like I said, you can cover up a lot of mistakes with your decorations, so don't freak out too much. If you get a little spot here and a spot there, it's really not a big deal. I think the fabric just gives it kind of, you know, a nice look. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Maybe you have a different one. Definitely have to keep trimming. Just keep trimming, just keep trimming. Yeah, this one can come up a little tighter. And this 3-in-1 stays tacky for a little bit. You don't have a whole lot of time, but you do have a little time. Yeah, and that's okay that there's some frayed edges. I don't mind it too much. Though I do feel like this has to be glued better. Pieces might be, there we go, a little too thin. I don't know, let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe, we might get it. I'm gonna have to ink it because it's not inked. But I thought these would make cool end papers for this. I'm just worried it's not gonna be sturdy enough for that fabric. You know what? You know what? What? I have this here. I could use that. I have to cut some off. I also have the bunnies. Nope. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I am just going to print out another one of these pages that I can use as end paper, or maybe just I'm gonna print this on a cardstock. Maybe I'll use this one. That one's kind of neutral. So let me do that quick. Okay, I am back and I cut it to size. Save you guys from watching me do all that. There's no need, you know how to cut. So I just gave myself a little border, and I did do this as one full piece. I was thinking of doing it as separate pieces, but then I realized I don't have anything in the center here and I might see some of that white, and so I just did it as one piece. And what I did was, before I glued it down, I just kind of found where those creases were and I kind of creased it. I might have to change it up a little. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it goes this way. Yeah, that's what I did. Okay, so this goes this way. And I also wanted to put my tie in it now, and I want to use a piece of lace because I'm going to glue this under it. Okay, and this is going to actually be what's I'm going to tie my journal up with, and I'll make it a little longer than I think I need, and I can always trim it, but I'd rather have it longer than shorter. So we have that. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to go down here, and then this will go over it, and then I'll have a way to close up my journal. But I'm going to make sure this is glued down well because I don't want it pulling up the paper. So we're going to glue this as its own separate entity. All right, stop sticking at everything. Look at this. It's like it's magnetic. So it's going to be here. Okay. Make sure my ends are lined up. They are. You want to pull this down just a bit. There we go. Like so. Should give me plenty of room. And now we'll do this. So I'm going to glue this so I know where I'm putting my glue. I'm just going to double check this again, make sure I have it the right way. I do. Perfect. Flippy do. this one I'm going to make sure I get good coverage. It's not going to leak through the other side. And the reason I also folded it is so I could ink it right in that spot, and just so it's a little less cumbersome when I go to fold it after it's glued, because otherwise it might pull up and just be a little wonky. So that's my solution to that. Now it's probably going to come out the sides a little, so when I glue it down, I'm going to pull it towards me to push it down. I'll show you what I mean. Where did that top go? There you are. Let me just cover this. And so what I mean is I'm going to pull in. I'm not going to push out because that's just going to push my glue out, but I want to get a good seal. I do want some of the glue getting to the edge there, but I don't want to squeegee it that way. I want to kind of pull it towards the inside and then just kind of shimmy to get some of the glue to go towards the edge. Okay, and I'm just checking to make sure this is all going to work out for me. And it is. Okay. This way I can get good adherence down, but I'm not squishing all my glue out. I do want to make sure that the edges are nice and glued down. That's where I'm going to put a lot of my attention, right on those edges, because those are what's going to come up. Alright, so this has to dry well before I start maneuvering it back into place. And I guess I can use some extra glue right there. So I'm going to let this glue really well. And then I will be right back with you. It'll be a second for you, but it's probably going to be a little bit for me, just so I can make sure it's good and adhered down. All right, so I'll meet you back here in a bit. And we're back. Okay, so this is dry and it's pliable. I kind of held it in place while it was drying for a little bit, just so it could, you know, it could be workable. But that's what we have. Okay, and we're gonna get the signatures in there, and I'm just trying to see if I want to cut them. That means I have to ink everything again, so I really don't want to. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna leave them. You can decide what you want to do, but I think I'm gonna leave mine. So now I just have to figure out, you know, where I'm putting my signatures. And I just want to check this. I'm wondering. Yeah, that still gives me quite a bit of room. You know, I can go out a little. Because we're going to make it a little chunky. So I might regret it in the end. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so how am I going to do this? Basically, I'm going to find... So this is 1 inch, right, approximately. It's a little wider than 1 inch now because of all the material and stuff. So I think I'm gonna put my signatures, let's see. see what I want to do. So that would be a half. I think I want to do it at, let's see where these two lie. 3/4. That's too close. Maybe like here. And here. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the best spot to kind of let them lay in there. I know, you should just do the math. Ugh. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do them at, what would that be? 1, 2, 5/16 from either edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Approximately, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so 5/16, that should give me a decent working area. Yeah. So we'll do the same here. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then down here, and I'm doing this with pencil so that I can erase it when I'm done. Not that you'll see my lines anyway, but now I'm just gonna draw a line all the way down, very lightly. So I have an idea of where I'm putting my holes. Okay, so that's the placement as it's centered in the journal, thereabouts. This one's a little wonky. I think they're both a little wonky. Hold on. I didn't go down far enough. That's the problem. That's about where it was. Okay. 3, 4, 5. This one can come over a little. You know, you get as precise as you want. The more precise, the more work. Okay, so thereabouts. That's about where I'm gonna poke my holes, and now I have to figure like where I'm gonna do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So now I just have to, now you can do templates and all of that. I don't work that way, so that's completely up to you. I'm just gonna kind of mark a center mark and then somewhere near the top of each. So here and here. I'm marking on the spine now, and here. Okay, and that's one signature. And then my second signature, I'm gonna hold up here. And I'm gonna see where this is gonna fall, and I'm gonna mark the holes on this. So let me go across first. No, because I want them to be even. There's one. Where the heck is the center mark? Oh, there you are. Sort of center. You going there, and then you, wow, lost you too, huh? Here. Okay, and that means then I have somewhere to mark this one. And you know what, I'm gonna turn them both inside out and mark them, because that's where I actually have to punch my holes. So here and here, oh, right on the line, how cool. And right here. Okay. And then on the inside of this one, all right, and so that's where I'm going to punch these. Let me get out my punch kit. I need an awl and a couple clips, and then I need to pick a color of yarn of, I think I'll go with this. So I'm gonna need 1, 2, I just count 3 the width of a page, or I usually use the cover, and that's for 1, and then I can just do a second one from that measurement. Okay, so I'm using like a tan, kind of off-white cream. Alrighty. So now that I have it marked inside, I can see my pencil marks there. It's going to make them a little more defined in the center here. I can erase anything I don't want when I'm done. I want to make sure I can see them well. I'm lining everything up, and I'm going to punch these, and then I'll punch the cover through. But after I punch these, I just want to make sure my lines on the cover are correct, okay, because I'm punching them separate. So I'm kind of gonna force the center down as much as I can, and I kind of grip it like this and hold it closed, pretty close, and then I put my clips on, okay, so that I don't have that center moving too much. That's kind of how I do mine. And then holding it, you know, as close as I can together, I'm going to put the awl on the spot that needs to go through, and then I close it so that my pages are mostly aligned, okay, and then I kind of go through like that, jimmy it a little. And then where is this one? This one's here, right? Yes, I know you guys can't see, but you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. Now you can certainly make a template for yourself if you find that is more comfortable for you. I just don't do that. I did it when I first started making these, and then this was easier for me. So this is what I do. All right, so that's one. And, right, yeah. And then this one, that's my front, and my marks are on the inside. I'm just gonna make sure all my pages are going the right way. They are, especially when I need more clips. When we sew them in, we definitely want to double check them then. Okay, so same thing as before. I'm just gonna push that all down and then kind of hold it together tight. Kind of put a clip there, and then a clip here. I'm gonna adjust this one just a bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing here. I have to find my marks. Where are they? There's one. All right, hold on. I did not mark these well. So let me do that again. 1. Oh, this one's on that line, that's why. Okay, you, and you, and then you. All right. And somebody's out there going, and that is why we make templates. And that's okay. Because we all work the way we work. All right, so we're good now. This one's got to come back out a little. Come on, stay. There we go. All right, now I see my lines. So same thing. Be very careful. These awls are extremely sharp. And if you're gonna make a lot of journals, I recommend you get one because it's well worth it. Is that my mark? Yeah, that's it right there. It's well worth it to have the tools you need, you know, than to fight with something that you're using as a stand-in. All right, so I have my 3 holes there and I have my 3 holes there. Now I'm just gonna hold these up here and make sure they still align and see, yeah, this one's just a tad bit off. Let's see, you're gonna go there. Yeah, just a bit. Okay, let's see this one. I don't want to remove my clips because I haven't sewn them yet, right? So this one is correct. Okay, you're good. Why are you so far off? You know what? It doesn't matter. What matters is that the hole that I drill is correct. So that one's correct and that one's correct. This one's a little too low. I must have punched it in the wrong place. That's okay. We'll make it work. All right, so now I have to punch holes in the back here, and I have to keep in mind that I'm also going through the fabric. So I don't want to just jam things, right? I want this to work. And so I'm just gonna find my holes and then I'm gonna come back through the back way, okay? But I need somewhere as a target. This one's good. Now, if you're just using paper, you can just go one way, but I like to come back through the fabric side because, you know, the fabric is poked out now on the other side, and the holes may not even be that visible because of the fabric. Okay, so here's one. And here's 2. Let me do that one again. And I'm gonna put a piece of lace over this where my strings are coming out. So I'm not worried if they're just slightly misaligned. But if you're going for an aesthetic where you see the strings, you wanna, you know, you wanna pay close attention to what you're doing here. You know, fabric is fabric and it's fibers and it's gonna go back into place. So it's gonna fight with you a little. You just gotta be patient and work with it. Okay, I think I have everything where I need it. I might have to adjust, it's fine. But I'm gonna get rid of these lines. Not that you'll see them much because they'll be under the signatures, but. Okay, let me get a needle. And if you haven't done a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, it's one of the easier stitches. If it becomes a bit challenging, I say practice on something, but it's really super simple. You can also just tie some elastic around. I have a couple of journals that I've done on my channel that were like that. So you can choose to do something like that too if you want, rather than do a sewn in. Okay, so now is when I want to make sure that all my pages are the way that I want them and that the signatures are where I want them. I think that one goes there. This one goes here. All right, I'm going to go in. This is going to be my first signature here. I'm going to go in through the center. That means that my tail is going to be on the inside of my journal, which I want because I'm going to cover the back. If you want your tail on the outside of the journal, then you want to start from the outside of the journal. But I want mine in, so I'm going to go through the center here. Okay, I'm going to pull and leave a bit of tail. And I would say that if you're new to this, give yourself more string than you need, because you can always clip it, right? Okay, and then I'm going to go through the center here, like so. And I'm keeping everything clipped. Don't remove your clips. All right, so I went through the center, and now I'm gonna come up to the top or down to the bottom. It doesn't matter, you can do either one. I'm gonna come up through the top of the cover. I got a lot going on here, so I got lace moving, and then I'm gonna come up through the top of my signature and out. Okay, and I'm just gonna pull my tail a little, so. All right. And I'm not making anything super tight yet. I'm gonna jump all the way down to the other side. So we're gonna go over the middle and over to this side and through. And then we're gonna go back through the center of the cover. Okay, and I like to do it this way where I'm kind of separately punching through them, because then I can kind of see where I am and what I'm doing, and it works better for me that way. All right, I pull it just a little bit tighter, and now I have to come back up through the back and go back through the center. And the one thing you want to be careful of, and I say this every single time, is you don't want to pierce your thread here, because it'll screw up a lot of what you're doing. So you want to kind of get through that cover and not pierce your string. So sometimes you might want to come back through it with your awl and just open up that hole. But if you pierce the string, it makes it really hard to tighten anything. So that's why you don't want to pierce your string. And now, I don't know if you can see, but I'm going back through the center of the signature on the other side. It's a little tight in here, but that's what I'm doing. I need to give myself some more room. It becomes easier the more you do it, but sometimes you just have to kind of mess with it. Oop. I guess I lost my string. Okay. This is why I say if you're new, you might want to give yourself or if you're like me and have done this a number of times, you also might want to give yourself some extra string. Okay, there we go. All right, there's obviously, now I'm just kind of tightening everything up. All right, now I want to remove the clips before I do my full tightening, because otherwise, you know, there may be some pages that aren't aligned in that, and I want everything to kind of line up. And so I'm just gonna, like, this is coming around, so I'm gonna pull from the center, and then I'm gonna pull this one down, and then we're gonna pull up from the center. So we're kind of like that, and now everything is, well, let's see, I'm saying that, but then this one isn't so tight. Come on. Okay, so it's tight, but you don't want it super over tight because then you might tear your pages. But you do want it to be taut. And just pull your strings through. And then I'm going to tie a double knot or 2 knots. One on top of the other. And this is waxed linen, well, waxed embroidery thread, I think it is. So it holds my knot really well without having to put a lot of extra pressure. But if you're using something else, then you may want to make sure that that is very secure. Okay, so that's one. Now we do the next. Same way, okay? Through the center. Of my signatures. And paper is also fiber, so it also will tend to close up on you, so just be aware. Keep checking it. You may have to repunch your holes a bit with your awl. And sometimes if you have a clip like this, you can clip it on your end here so that it won't pull all the way through. That's a little trick to kind of help you if you're working with a shorter piece of thread. Okay, so up through the top and through the top of my signature, like so. Or the bottom, I guess, in this case. But again, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay. And then over, this is really the most cumbersome part, is when you're working with multiple signatures, because you know, you got a lot of moving parts here. So it just becomes a little fiddly, but you know, you work through it, right? To create beauty on the other side. All right, back through. So down through the middle, around, up through either side, over, down, and then back up through the middle. All right. And I am to the back up through the middle part. I'm gonna go through the cover, and I'm gonna hold that piece over, this one, over slightly, so I can try not to pierce my thread as I go back through the back, and then through the back signature, back of the, and to make this just a bit bigger. Okay, like that. All right, and now we can take that off. We can take these clips off, and then we can just tighten everything up. Okay, not perfectly even, but that's okay because I know I'm covering it up. If you want to measure, you'll probably get better results. But I like to put my time in on the journal inside itself. So measuring is usually out. All right, there we go. But some of us are more perfectionists, you know? I'm kind of like a hot mess crafter, so that's what I do. All right, and then we'll tie a double knot again. And we'll cut these in the end, but that's it. And you can see that we have our outside there. I'm gonna put a piece of lace over that. You could put a piece of paper if you're working with paper, or maybe you just decided to do a single signature and you have sewn it in a different way. I don't know how you're making yours, but that's how I'm making mine. And I'm glad I didn't cut these because I kind of like the wonkiness of these pieces that are kind of half hanging out, so I'm happy with that. But if you're gonna put on like a bunch of stuff on the ends, you may want to cut yours down. All right, so where are we? I think we're probably at time, but I'm gonna jump into another video shortly, and then I'm gonna put these up kind of back to back, day 1 and day 2. But I wanted to get this part done, and this was gonna be a little more involved. So that's that. I'm not gonna put my lace on yet because I have some stuff I wanna do on the cover, and I wanna do that kind of towards the end. And then this will just kind of tie up pretty like that. And there we go. All right, so that's where we are on this video. And then I am going to start building out the next video. We will start building some interior pages, which is where all the fun begins. This is kind of like that, oh, you know, I got to get this part done. So that's it, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know how you're making your cover. Leave me a comment below. Tell me what you think of this and how you might do it better. All right, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye.